Ready? Chapter 6. Attack. Aino leaned in and whispered in Keon's ear. "I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to take control for the time being. I can't have you dying on me now." Keon felt his body move, bending down, cowering, and making itself as small as possible with Aino's body covering his. He tried, but he couldn't move out of his own free will. He couldn't even talk. So this was it. This was her power. That's how she was able to heal him before. The blood mages could only control blood, because it was the sole part of her they had in them. She, on the other hand, she could control everything in the human body. He could feel it. She was controlling his every move. Her power, she was using it to protect him. She was acting as his shield. Her body pressed onto his as the arrows hit her, one after another. "No!" Joa screamed in horror as he saw the scene unfold in front of him. This was not supposed to happen. He glanced over at Atle, who looked completely devastated. A burst of anger came over Joa, and he felt the rage take over. He saw them from afar. There were about 20 of them, clasping their bows for another round. "Oh no, you don't." "Kill them!" Joa roared as he grabbed both of his axes from under his shield. He threw them with all his might, hitting 2 of the bowmen, splitting their heads in half. He rushed forward, followed by Lia. She might not be able to throw as hard or as long as him, but this was nothing new to her. As soon as they were close enough, she threw both her axes as well. She heard the men screech in pain as she hit one of them in the chest and the other in the stomach. As Atle saw Joa set off towards the assailants, he turned to Tyr. He nodded at him as they both followed suit and drew their swords. The assailants dropped their bows and scrambled for their other weapons in panic. Deep down they all already knew how this was going to end. Their death was coming in the form of the 4 mages rushing towards them. Keon was back in control of his body again. "Are you still alive, Aino?" he asked, dreading that there would be no answer. "I'm not dead yet," she answered calmly. Keon stood up with her still on the back. He lifted his head, only to witness the ghoulish scene playing out in front of him. "Don't forget who they are, who they chose to become," he heard Aino say to him. Joa raised his arms and let them swing down like sledgehammers on the 2 women standing in front of him, snapping their necks in half, almost ripping their heads off their bodies, while Atle in one blow severed the heads of 3 of the assailants, almost completely in sync with Tyr, who took out 3 others in the same way. The 4 mages moved forward as the last 8 assailants backed away, holding their axes in front of them. "If you're not going to use your weapons on us, I'd suggest dropping them." Lia gave a menacing smile towards the 2 men standing shaking in front of her. The 4 mages reached out their hands and grabbed the 8 assailants' heads, 1 in each hand, forcing them down on their knees besides the mages. The 4 then turned their heads so that they could all see Aino in the corner of their eye. The terror in the assailants' faces could be seen from far away, as the blood was drained from their bodies, coloring the cloaks of the mages with new, fresh blood. It was over in seconds. The assailants fell to the ground, dead in an instant. A chill went through Aino's spine. The mages had looked at her as they had drained the enemy, like a tribute. This was more than she had bargained for. She just wanted her blood back, but to the mages this was something more, something far more sinister. "I don't like this, Keon. My blood isn't just blood with power to them. They want me. I can feel them in my veins. Their will, their longing for power, it's so strong. They're only 4 now. But what will happen when we have gone through all those camps? When I am surrounded by all of those officers, all wanting the same thing, all longing for power, the power only I can give them. Keon could hear the fear in her voice. The same woman who had just saved his life using herself as a shield. He was going to stay by her side. I don't know what will happen, but I will stay with you for as long as you need me, he replied. She smiled. After being alone for a long time, she had almost forgotten what it was like to care for another human being. Aino reached back with her right hand and closed it around the shaft of one of the arrows that had hit her. This was going to hurt. She ripped it out and gasped. Yep, that hurt. She felt around on her back. There were 2 more. She grabbed the second one and pulled it right out with a groan. Okay, 1 more. She held her breath as the arrowhead exited her body. She cursed loudly. You know, I could have helped you with those, Keon said as he turned his head to look at her. It's a risky move to pull them out just like that. The bleeding. She cut him off. I don't bleed. Are you sure about that? Those sounds you just made sure made it seem like you were in a lot of pain. Keon gave her a concerned look. Just because I don't bleed doesn't mean I don't have pain receptors, she answered. Do you heal instantly as well? He asked, now a bit curious. No, for that I would have to get wounds. I don't. My body just divides itself where it needs to, and then puts itself back together when the obstacle is removed. The pain is gone as soon as that happens. I'm fine, Keon. I really am, she answered. Keon started walking towards the mages. Splitting yourself apart just to survive. Bleeding or no bleeding, it still sounded rather gruesome to him. 10 swords, 10 axes, 20 bows, and 103 arrows. Leah had collected all the weapons from the dead assailants. She seemed very pleased with the result. 106 arrows, Aino filled in as she dropped the 3 arrows previously stuck in her back onto the collective pile on the ground. Keon stopped next to Leah. Who wants you all dead? Aino asked her. Leah stared at her. How was she? Why was she? What in the world? She replied. Aino looked at her with a tired expression. Very insightful, thank you. She turned her head towards Teal instead. Can you answer me? That one stopped working, she pointed to Leah. He raised his eyebrows. Well, apparently the ruler doesn't like us. A nice price has been set on our heads. He claims this area? She asked him. Yes, all the way from the north, where we are now, to the south, where you'll find the 4-star generals. We have been out for a month looking for you. It's an excellent opportunity to try to take us out. So far they have been 0% successful, but you never know. He shrugged his shoulders. Yeah, I bet you have been all stealthy trying to hide as well, spreading the smell of rotten cadavers everywhere you go with those dried up bloody cloaks, Aino said in a mildly sarcastic manner. Well, they're not dry now, Teal answered her.